Ooh, it's tea time.
It's tea time with Mary.
Hello, good morning. Welcome back to Tea Parties on the Internet. I am your host, Miss Mary Lou, and it is freaking fantastic to see you back here on the Miss Mary Lou channel, my friends, So I've really been enjoying October, the fall, the weather. At least in Los Angeles, it's finally below 90 degrees, and I'm just like, sweaters! And I always love coming out with fun October content for you. So today, my friends, is no different. We are doing another episode of
It's Board Games and Brews.
Oh yes, I have a board game for you today, and I have paired it with a tea, as always. I cannot wait to get into our spooky storytelling game for today, but before we move any further into our tea party, if you are not subscribed to the Miss Mary Lou channel already, you are seriously missing out. Please hit the red subscribe button below and the little notification bell so you know when I upload. Let's get spoopy. I know my mug choice isn't very spoopy, but I was just feeling warm and cozy today. I love this mug. For our board game today, I am excited to introduce to you Gloom, the game of inauspicious incidents and grave consequences by Keith Baker. The sky is gray, the tea is cold, and a new tragedy lies around every corner. Gloom is one of those games that, yes, you can just put a bunch of cards on the table to attempt to win, but it's the storytelling element that really sets Gloom apart from other card games. To simply set up the game, everyone chooses a family that is their own. Every family of characters is slightly different. You could have circus performers or simply at science experiments, etc., whatever suits your fancy. Your objective in Gloom is to give your family the lowest negative self-worth possible before finishing them off to score points. Is this dark humor? Oh yeah, or you betcha this is dark humor. During gameplay, there are a few different types of cards that can pop up. These are modifier cards, event cards, and untimely death cards. Modifier cards you can use on your own family members or other family members around the table to make your characters as completely abysmally miserable as possible, while perhaps some stroke of luck comes to one of your teammates and they instantly feel much better about themselves. Event cards throw wrenches into the mix that keep the game oh so interesting. And then, of course, there are the untimely death cards, which can only be played on characters with negative self-worth to score, because if your family member has the stroke of luck to still be with us alive at the end of the game, they score you no points whatsoever. To play the game, each player takes a hand of 5 to start, and then they get to play 2 cards on their turn, any combination of modifier, untimely death, and event cards. However, an untimely death card can only be the first play, unless, of course, an event card says otherwise. This way, the gameplay is much more interesting and challenging, so you're not just negative self-worth, did. Next turn, negative self-worth, you did. By having the untimely death card required to be the first card played, you gotta use a little bit more strategy. You know what I mean. Anytime you play a card that affects a character, there is a little description at the top of the card. Are they terrified by topiaries? Pursued by poodles? There are a number of fantastical and delightfully illiterate titles to these cards. It's definitely a word nerd experience, if you will. And each of these cards will lay over the character card, and you'll be able to see the character as well as their self-worth score. Now you'll notice that the cards are clear, so when they stack, you'll be able to see what's underneath. If for some reason an icon covers up something that is already that like formerly was visible, that is canceled out and replaced by whatever is on top. So what's visible is always what counts, which is great because if for some reason you find love on the lake and you're having a great time, if you have a modifier card that, you know, covers up that good feeling, you're back on track. So again, the old dam isn't just, you know, pursued by poodles, get the points and done. But no, she was out walking frou-frou one day in town, frou-frou with her dangly bell jingle collar, and but ho, there was a flock of poodles nearby who, by the ringing of the bell, was so attracted to the poodle that all of them ran forth, scared the old dame, and she ran away being pursued by poodles. You know, you get the idea. You can be as elaborate or as simple as you wish with your storytelling style. My advice is just to have fun. Then, once one player's family are all deceased in all of their misery, they have finally found their graves, the game is over. Everyone scores points for their dead family members, and the winner is whoever has the lowest negative score. Is this dark and dismal? Oh, you betcha. Is this game absolutely delightfully hilarious? Absolutely. Oh my goodness gracious. And the fact that this is a dark, macabre, ye oldie type theme really ties into the Halloween spirit. I played this one year round, but there's no better time to bring it out than in October. And of course, if something scary isn't really your jam, there are other versions of Gloom. I myself have Fairy Tale Gloom, where the characters are those that you would recognize, and yes, terrible things still happen to them, but the mood overall is a little bit lighter. And mayhaps best of all, this game you can play with 2 to 4 players. So if, like myself, you like to have games that have the option to play with only 2 and have it be a really fulfilling, fun-filled time, this is an excellent choice for your collection. So, what tea did I choose for this delightful ye old game? Well, actually something rather simple. I chose a good old classic English breakfast from Twinings of London. Enjoy the smooth, full-bodied taste of this classic tea any time of day. Now, I thought long and hard about what tea would be a good pairing with this game. You could go so many different directions with it, right? Like, I had like 6 different ideas. I feel like a classic English breakfast tea when you're I imagine this game honestly to be like somewhere in like ye old London, honestly. And I mean, if you would like to wait for your teacup to get cold, as it suggests on the back of the box, which honestly, I did not even know that that was there until we started filming. But I think the beauty of a classic English breakfast tea with a game like this that can be so lush, so dark, and so fantastical by having something rooted in simplicity and also having it be caffeinated to keep you going will help bring what this experience is really all about, which is storytelling. And who doesn't love a good story with a classic cup of English breakfast tea? I'm drinking it today with a spoonful of maple syrup and a little bit of almond milk. It's just so good. It's so classic. It's so homey, and just I think it pairs really well with this game. I know I drink a lot of really fun blends and things like that on this channel, but honestly, a lot of my daily go-to sort of teas are the ones that are really rooted in like just coziness within me, and English breakfast has been one of those teas for me for a really long time. And I can absolutely imagine the old dame sitting down with a delightful cup of English breakfast with no sugar or milk ever, and she waits for it to get not cold but room temperature. So, my tea time fam, have you ever played Gloom, or is there a game that you always take out around the spooky Halloween season? Please let me know in the comments down below. And also, while we were talking about like classy, cozy go-to teas, I want to know some of yours as well. I've actually been doing a really good job lately of clearing out my tea collection and just drinking it, but that means I don't have a lot of tea right now, so you know, I love those suggestions. Thank you so much for watching this special October edition of Board Games and Brews, and last and most important of all, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next tea party.
It's tea time with Mary.
A one, a two, a scoobity-doobity-doo. Thanks for watching Tea Time with Mary. I hope to see you real soon. And if you want to, like, subscribe, and comment. I think that would be cool. Check out my Facebook.com/Tea Time with Mary for all the content that's new. Or my Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter. I'm at Miss Mary Lou. So thanks again for joining us, and thanks for being a friend. We'll see you next tea party. The fun never ends on Tea Time with Mary. That's me. Hey! It was so hard to pick a game to do for this. I play mostly spooky games, it feels like. Shout out to literally all the other games in my collection.